Welcome back to Budapest. Well, guys, as you know, we are trying to relieve our encircled units right here in the center of Budapest. Now, you're going to want to take a look at the first episode to get an idea of what's happening this turn, because we're actually about to end the turn here. I'm going to try to carry out just a few more attacks with the Fisher Company, a few Wehrmacht infantry divisions here, specifically to try to take out enemy engineers. But as you can see, I don't even think we have the attack power to go through with an attack right now. So the best thing to do is probably go ahead and end the turn. As you can see, we've encircled these units here, and I'm hoping that that encirclement lasts. But we'll have to wait and see how this actually goes. Let's end the turn, and actually it's not entirely an encirclement because they still have some units here. Nonetheless, our goal is to try and bash them here and trap them, and of course finish them off once and for all. So let's end the turn. Let's see how it goes. By the way, what do you guys think of the new thumbnails? Been working on my thumbnail skills a little bit, so tell me if you guys notice. It is good to hear that. And we'll try to, of course, improve them as time goes on. What are these dastardly Soviets up to? I can't wait to find out. Here we go. Alright, guys, and of course, winter is still completely upon us. It looks like they're definitely trying to break out of this encirclement. Defending forces held. 796 men lost on the enemy side. The issue here is that we're really in the late war. This is when the actual Soviets started pushing the Germans all the way back. I mean, it's amazing, but there. So, of course, taking Budapest, and specifically relieving our boys, would really push the morale up a bit low. So let's see what we can do. It looks like they have already broken out. Have to get a closer look. This river also doesn't help. The other side obviously causes us some serious problems. Nonetheless, most of our defending forces are holding. It's like here where we actually retreated, the fish engineers. So this is just sort of, unfortunately, par for the course when we are fighting such a late war battle. Let's hope we can still make it through and open up the road again to Kaposvar. At least they didn't attack our units in Budapest this turn, waiting to starve us out. Okay, guys, there's the total kills for each side. We'll take a look at that at the end of next turn. Right now, I want to see what I can do about encircling the enemy here. So I am going to try, I'm still confident in that encirclement. I'm going to try to go ahead and push these guys back. And they held, defending forces held. And what we could do is try and sneak some more units through, or we could just start attacking. Here's what I'm going to do. I've got an idea. We'll send these two tanks through if we can get them, but as you can see, with all the damn weather, it is not easy to get these guys through this area at all. In fact, even these guys can't move due to just the awful weather we've got here. So I think we should just go for targets of opportunity, targets we can actually strike. So let's take a look here. This 3-3, for instance, definitely we can break through here. We've got to look for some more exploits, and we've got to do something over here where we were forced back with the Fisher Division. That 62 is just too beefy for us to take on, and look at this. We can't even move these units. This is how bad the weather is. We can't even bring in this SS Mountain Corps or any of the additional tanks that we're going to be getting for this fight. We're going to have to actually wait for those to arrive. So for now, I think really all we can do is pretty much stay put. I will look for, of course, areas where I think we can get a decent attack, but there aren't many of them, folks, I must say. Now, these two SS Panzer divisions should do very well. It would be great if they had just a little more support, but I'm going to go ahead and do a full-out offensive there. Did pretty well. They did manage to cause 400-something casualties, but of course, in the grand scheme of things, it's nothing too serious. Let's also hit, could potentially also take control of that Soviet rail, and that was a wonder. The Soviets with the PPSH, we actually took more casualties than they did, just in that assault. So, was it worth it? I guess so, you know, to send them reeling and sort of send them retreating, but maybe not, you know, it's maybe going to cost us more in the end. Now, there's also a fort here. I'd love to tackle it, but I would only tackle it with these reinforcements, which unfortunately we're not going to be getting this turn. So I think for now, we pretty much end, unless... Can we get these guys here? I don't think so. And attacking here would not work out well for us. Man, talk about an awful situation for our men to be in. Now, we also have to keep an eye on our units here near Budapest. Eventually, we could try a breakthrough, like over here where the enemy's got some engineers. Let's go ahead and see if we can reduce the defender fort, and we did, in fact. But they can probably fill in that gap very quickly. That being said, if we can maybe force some of our units out of Budapest once the storm lifts, maybe that would be sufficient to attack this guy on all sides and actually break the enemy line here. Only time will tell, and unfortunately we're going to have to end the turn. One thing I will do, since we're not going to be using these bombers this turn too much, let's go ahead and try and hit some ground forces bombed. 61 men lost on the ground. It's really not a lot. You need serious groups of bombers to do any major damage here. Yeah, let's go for him. Why not? But the rest of our bombers, I'm just going to leave on pretty much right at the bases, let them refuel, etc. Let's end the turn. First, I want to see if I could just move some of these HQs a little bit closer. But once again, even the HQs are suffering from this horrific weather. So truly a blizzard to rival all others. Let's end the turn. They did get some recon and doing a pretty good job at it. We are holding side, 51 dead on our side, but I really do feel confident that eventually they will break through. A trap for them completely. So hopefully the storm actually lifts and we can try, if the weather lifts, of course. That's going to be the most important factor here in this battle. Held out against their 5th Guards Heavy Tank Regiment. But I don't know how much longer we can actually hold out, and they are attacking our units within Budapest. So that counterattack definitely upset them, and they killed quite a lot of our men. Also forced the men in northern Budapest to retreat there. That is no fun. So now they're trying to actually break through our security divisions in the north, and most of these are Hungarian security divisions. They're mostly attacking us with engineers, so their engineers are also not very combat savvy. And once again, a great example of with these attacks against us. Despite us not doing many actual casualties we're causing is pretty dramatic here every time they fail with one of these charges. One of these death-defying charges. Of course, they know that all it takes is a matter of time at this point in the war before they break through and we run out of reinforcements ourselves. So that's what they're going to continue doing. We're going to get a look here at the casualties. I can't wait to just in these 3 turns. How far have we gotten in terms of casualties? So 124,000 total losses. In terms of killed, that's 43,000. 174,000 total losses for the Soviets. And men killed is going to be only 18,394. You see, these are late war numbers for sure. And once again, not really much movement here that we can do. There's just not much. We might be able to push this tank. Nope. Guys, we are just stuck right here. Not much I can even imagine us doing, except we're still going to try to break this unit right here, the Rifle Corps, to try to eventually get that encirclement. But as you can see, those defending forces did hold, and I kind of expected they would. Let's continue this attack, though. We don't want to use up this fuel, and I'll also continue the attack over here with these Panzer divisions. Just do an all-out charge and try to flatten the Guards Rifle Division. We did order them to do a retreat, but again, it's not a huge loss for them at all. What we could do is go for a crazy attack against that point right there. I just don't see the strategic value of doing that, though. I think right now we should just go for the attacks we know we can win. In fact, I'm kind of surprised they held here, considering their strength there. I thought for sure we'd break through. What else do we have here? They held, and again, I was going to say there's a river there. No, I'm seeing things. So, no, there is no river tile. So we should be able to break through with a good old-fashioned charge across the snow. Beautiful. We got them to retreat, but again, we're just kind of it's pointless exchanges at this point while this storm is keeping both of our armies down. And as this storm is happening, we're on turn 4, we can't get any of these beautiful reinforcements back here. There are so many SS divisions arriving from Berlin to try and relieve the situation, but they simply cannot get through. So maybe, if we ever play this battle again, we should have pushed a little deeper and sort of gotten stuck in here on the northern front. I'm just not sure. But for now, I'm still waiting. Keep in mind, they're still not getting any supplies through here. At least not to these groups over here, these armies. And I'm sure that's tens of thousands of potential prisoners. So let's try and keep our spirits up. And at least our men are getting reinforced and getting the food they need during this fight. I'm not sure that's going to make a huge difference. Now, one thing we could also do, this mechanized unit looks a little weaker than I expected. And beautiful, we did get Guards Mechanized Corps to retreat. Those are the kind of small victories we need in this fight. And as you can see, that unit right there, we've got the 2nd Guards Rifle Corps. They're about to make it into the center of Budapest. So time is really what needs to save us. We need our units to arrive in time, and I'm not sure that's going to occur. So again, I called this really the Stalingrad. The Stalingrad of Hungary is what this really is. All right, let's end the turn. I was going to think if I should risk doing another attack against this guy, but I don't think that's a good idea. Let's just see what Uncle Joe is going to do this turn, and if that awful weather goes away. It at least frees up a few more turns for us to really fight back against the Soviets. Here we go, directly into Budapest. We held against that attack. I don't know how many more attacks our men can take before they break. And again, they're throwing themselves against those northern security lines still. Those are not as important to us because really our main army is right here on the front. These are the men who cannot lose these fights. And again, 1,000 Soviets killed or wounded in these attacks. They're really just throwing everything they have at us. At least it'll boost up our body count a little bit. Let's see if that blizzard has gone away or if we're going to have to deal with that blizzard next turn as well. Okay, guys, let's get into the fight, and once again, we are still here. The blizzard is still upon us. We're just going to have to fight, a different kind of battle, essentially trying to break through these zones where the enemy is weak. Again, over here, he's still quite weak, so we'll go ahead and push through, and I guess we're just waiting for that pivotal moment where we can actually make a difference, because right now, there's just not much we can do, except throw ourselves against them the way they're throwing themselves against us. And that hasn't worked out for them too well. See, that's what happens when we do the same thing. 744 men lost on our side. Just sort of a pointless endeavor. So we need to look for other options here. Now, once again, separating these guys and keeping them off our front lines is not a bad idea. So that's what we'll do right now, is we'll just accomplish the tasks we can until we can finally bring in some reinforcements. And I hope that these guys are hurting from this current situation. That being said, guys, if you want to see the next turns and you want to see how we approach from here, make sure to let me know in the comments down below by hitting that like button, dropping a comment, and of course showing up for some Gary Grigsby's War in the East. It's a game we haven't played in a long time, but there's always been a lot of fans of it here on the channel, so I definitely plan to do more videos. I didn't expect to take such a tough battle, but this blizzard is just not allowing us to really do our job. So let me know what you guys would do in this situation, and how do you think we're approaching it? All right, folks, catch you on the next one.